brother. Put up those dukes.
All right. Thunderlips, baby.
Hey,
Oh,
that's all it takes.
well,
Took my chances.
now you want to fight something?
Let's go fight people.
Nice.
It's your boys, Handsome Frank and Cool Mike. And today we're going to review Rocky. Plural.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Oh, I thought it was Rambo. Sorry.
They're all the same characters, Mike.
I've never seen Rocky.
You don't need to. That's the great thing about it. It's Stallone.
I heard it was a thing back in the 70s.
Yeah, 40th anniversary just hit.
Pretty well.
And I was rising up. I was back on the streets. I took my time and took my chances. I went the distance. And I'm not going to stop.
Is that, you know, the whole works? All?
His will and his, this man and his will to survive.
That's right.
So many times. It happens so fast. You trade your passion for glory, Mike.
I have. So in some moments in life, I have. That's for sure. Nice. Undertaker? Yeah, no. Dude, I should get that tattoo. I trade my passion for glory. Just right on my back from shoulder to shoulder.
If it would bring me glory, I would trade everything.
Well, what kind of glory are we talking here?
Well, what comes with glory? First, you get the glory. Then you get the money. Then you get the power. Then you get the women.
Well, I always thought the glory was the woman. Just, you know.
No,
hey.
that's just some ripper.
So let's say like
Baron.
rock paper scissors thing. That's glory, right? You get a little bit of glory from that.
Rock, paper, scissors, dynamite.
Yeah, I always chuck the dynamite in there too. Fuck them all up.
Well, whatever. Glory. With glory comes money, power, and the women.
Yeah. Just what I hear. Fuck yeah. Bring on the
I'm
glory.
going to have this face the whole time.
You got your the Stallone lip going on.
Like this. Adrian.
You like better than Schwarzenegger?
Why do you fight, Rock? Because I can't sing or dance. All right, let's get this review on the road.
That's a turtle over there. Okay, go.
Yeah,
Start
butt kiss! Butt kiss! All right. Rocky won. The best in the bunch, obviously. What do we got? We got a man down his luck beating up bums in a local church. Great opening. Great fucking opening. And I'm a big Spider Rico fan. I followed his career all the way up until that point. He just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, Rocky retired him.
I heard he threw a hell of a left hook. A left
Spider
hook
did.
into a straight cross. Spider Rico. So
We're freezing up here, buddy. There we go.
you're freezing up. You are. I'm fine.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, no. Spider Rico had the left hook, but Rocky had a nice left hook too, right?
Yes,
it's funny.
and a chin.
He'd always lead them up with the left hook, and then he'd knock them out with the right.
Yeah. Yeah, those lunging hooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mickey got him to switch it up. He's like, we need speed. We need speed. You need to be a greasy Italian tank, Rock. We need speed. It's like,
But that doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
Tanks
Mick,
are-
with all the racist talk,
Yeah.
I'm a thumb breaker from the. Huh?
Tanks aren't fast.
They
So
can
it's
be
like,
if you add enough grease and lightning.
I guess if they chase enough chickens, it'll be fast or whatever.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
chase that chicken, Rock, or you a bum. If you can't catch that little chicken, how do you think you're going to catch the champ? Yeah,
This is Rocky.
All right, Mick.
But we're talking
Huh?
Rocky 2.
I know. No, he got him to chase the chicken. He got him to chase the chicken in Rocky 1.
Did he? I thought that was 2.
No, it was 1. Two
Okay.
was. Let's hit 1 first. So
Yeah.
Rocky beats some guy up. Mickey don't like him very much, right? No, because he's like, he said you could have been something, Rock, but now
Yeah,
you're
he's
just breaking
Yeah.
thumbs. You're a bum. Like, what happened to my locker, Mick? Blah blah blah.
Okay.
So, and he does in fact break thumbs, and he looks stunning in that fucking hat, the leather jacket, the gloves when he squeezes his ball, right?
Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah, man.
I
I'd blow.
ripped off the hat a little bit.
You did. That's all right. I ripped off everything else.
Do you have a
So-
leather jacket?
Yeah, I have plenty.
Yeah.
I got a couple hanging up right there. Huh?
Yeah.
I should be
I imagine
wearing
you
it.
rock. You should be wearing it
I
right now.
look
You
all right.
dressed up as fucking Rocky.
I look all right. Ah!
The greasy tank fast speed right there. I just seen it.
That's how fast I caught myself.
Yeah. Hey.
This is a fancy one. It's lamb skin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was $1,200.
Oh nice.
Yeah. This is the one I wear to funerals and when I want to
Oh,
break
okay.
someone's thumbs. It's my thumb breaking jacket. But
How-
it's fucking hot as balls.
How many thumbs you break in that jacket there?
Yeah, no, I just like to break out the pipes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking good. So,
Are you shitting right now?
oh fuck yeah. Haven't stopped for a week.
All right, so let's continue.
then, what's that?
Let's continue with this Rocky review. I haven't watched
Yeah.
it in years, so I don't remember any of the shit, but I can
Oh,
comment on
that's all
whatever.
right. I know everything about it.
That's perfect. Good. I'm doing it with the right person.
So, Apollo Creed, he is getting he has a match in Philly on Independence Day. The founding of America, but the guy he's going to fight drops out. So he comes up with this genius idea. He's like, let's pick a local fighter. And he's like, who's better than an Italian? Because they built this country. And some guy's like, hey, here's the Italian stallion. I wonder if he has a big dick.
Yeah.
You'd have to think anybody named the Italian stallion has a big dick. And did you know Stallone was in softcore porn? And that was his name. The Italian
really?
stallion. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Did not know that.
Yeah. It'd be like something like Debbie and the Italian stallion.
Nice.
So they pick him. Rocky's just loving it. Loving it. He has a best friend, Paulie, who wants his sister, Adrian. Keeps getting Paulie to like, yo, hook me up with your sister. I keep going to see her at the goddamn pet store, and she keeps brushing me aside. What the fuck? And he's like, all right, Rock, I'll be your pimp. I'm going to pimp out my sister to you. So,
Best thing he ever did.
yep, best thing he ever did. It was like an arranged marriage, some would say.
Yeah.
Maybe some people are onto something with those things. I mean, they were married and happy, but they only had one kid. So, anyway, goes on a date. They go on a date, and on that date, he takes her skating. She can't skate, and he can't skate. He's just walking. She says to him,
He's
How
talking
can-
boxing the whole time, right?
"Huh? Yeah, he's
Remember that
he's
he's
like,
talking boxing the whole time on his first date with Adrian.
yeah." So she's like, Rocky, why do you fight? And then the best line in the movie is like, because I can't sing or dance. And she just takes it as like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Carrying on.
The
So
70s.
then Rocky has no management, right? Loses his locker in his gym. He's announced as a fighter. He's on TV. He looks like a goon on TV. Apollo's like, I'm going to kick this fool's ass. And rightfully so. And then what happens? Mickey shows up. And he starts showing him all these fucking war scars and shit. He goes, you see this? I fought so-and-so, and he had a nail right in his thumb, or in the glove. He dig it in. He said, I had holes in my mouth. I was spilling blood out of the holes in my mouth. He's like, yeah. And Rocky's like, because Mick was talking about his prime, and Rocky was like, well, at least you had a prime, Mick. He's like, what? Well, now that I get to fight the champ, you want to help me out? But I ain't got no locker, Mick, do I? He's like, what about my place? You want to move into my place? No, because it stinks. It stinks. It stinks. And then he walks into the bathroom. It fucking stinks. And then Mickey walks out, leaves his shitty apartment, but he forgets his hat. And he walks back in to grab his hat, and Rocky opens the bathroom door because he's gone. And he sees Mick, and he's like, whoop, and then goes right back in and closes the door on him. So as Mickey's walking down the stairs, Rocky's screaming his head off. And then he has a change of heart, and he runs out, and he's like, okay, you can be my trainer and manager.
Yeah.
I love that whole scene.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
And there's a lot of training in it, obviously, right? We all know Rocky. Rocky's all about training.
Pump you up, man. You what's that? So who do they base Rocky on?
It's all about the training, Mike.
Right. He runs. Everybody.
Now, what do they
Everybody-
base Rocky on?
Yeah.
Well,
See how big
I
of a
forget.
fan you are.
Huh?
Let's see how big of a fan you are.
Well, I always thought it was George Chuvalo versus Muhammad Ali, but it wasn't him. It was another white guy against Muhammad Ali who had no chance of winning, and he just wanted to go the distance. But I forget the white guy's name. Do you know his name?
Chuck Wepner.
There you go.
Chuck Wepner.
I've been watching the movie for years.
But he knocked him down, knocked Ali down, but he was stepping on Ali's foot. That's what Ali says. They didn't claim it as a knockdown, but yeah. He knocked him down, and Stallone was in the audience.
A million fucking excuses.
Yeah, but Stallone was in the audience.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
So he does his training. Night of the fight. Rocky's never had his nose broke. And Mick makes him know. He's like, you're lucky, Rock. You've never had your nose broke. You see my nose? It's been broken 72 times. You can see one here, one here, one here, one here, one down here, one up here. He breaks his nose in the first round. And he looks at him and he says, I think he broke my nose. He's great. He's great. You're getting killed out there, Rock. Yeah, I know. But Rocky did cut him and knock him down.
Dude, on a side note, Bert, you know who Bert Sugar is?
No.
He's like an old boxing analyst, and he said that with Apollo Creed's skills in the movie, he probably would have been the world champion. Just like watching him move and just watching the way he boxed, he said he probably just athletically alone, he would have been the world champion. And he looked, he knew what he was doing.
Well, when they were casting Carl Weathers, Apollo, they had him in for a reading. Fucking Balboa was there, and Stallone was talking about how Carl Weathers didn't know who Stallone was. He just saw he was some stand-in. So he starts shadow boxing during the fucking reading and like hitting him, jabbing Stallone, right? Not knowing that this is the guy who's making the movie. And he's like, we need that motherfucker. So, yeah.
That's cool.
And it was great, man. They take Rocky's robe off. It has fucking... we skipped over the part where he beats the meat. That was great.
Yeah, that was cool. Beats
the meat in Paulie's fucking meat packing plant. And then Duke's like, champ, you gotta look at this. This boy's for real. This boy actually thinks he has a shot. And Paul's like, yeah, man. Yeah, man, whatever. That probably cost him.
Yeah, he's breaking the ribs. He's like breaking the ribs on the meat and shit.
Yeah, those are big ass ribs.
Yeah, dude.
So he comes out with the fucking logo of the meatpacking plant on his robe. Love that. And he takes off his robe and he's the whitest motherfucker in the world. And he has no definition. He just looks like I don't know, like a white canvas ready for painting.
That was like 70s. That was 70s in shape. And then the 80s, they found out.
Then fucking Apollo comes out and he's jacked.
Yeah.
Apollo was cut, man.
Yeah, he was. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he cleaned that. Rocky cleaned that up in Rocky 3. That's for damn sure.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He started taking the roids.
Oh, yoked, man.
Yeah, and all it took was a little bit of Eye of the Tiger being yelled at him over and over. So the fight gets underway. I already mentioned it. They go the distance. Adrian's not in the audience. She's in the back. And the final round hits, right? And the match is much closer than everybody thought it would be. And this is my personal favorite part of the movie because people are like, it's a boxing movie, it's a sports movie. I'm like, no, man, it's a love story.
It is.
So
it's all the things.
So he's screaming, right? Like in the background, you hear the announcer giving off the judge's scorecard. He's like, so-and-so gives the match to Balboa. So-and-so gives it to Creed. So-and-so gives it to Creed for your defending champion. And then all Rocky's yelling is, Adrian! 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 Fuck! Adrian! And as she's running, her little hat gets pulled off. And she gets to the ring, and she's like, I love you. And he says, hey, what happened to your hat? I was like, oh, it's the best. And the way they did that is they had her hat was tied to some fishing wire. And as she was running, they just gently pulled it up. They didn't pull it, they just held it so that way it would look natural.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Another part of the movie I like is the how he's talking about that like grade 3 joke, or he's like he has like turtles and it's like one of them was choking on the turtle food. Then I gave him a little punch on the.
Oh yeah.
What did he have? Shell shock. And then it's like that in grade 3.
Or when he meets the little girl who's hanging out with the boys at night, little Marie, and he's like, yo, they're going to look at you like you're a little whore. So stop hanging out with those creeps, those bums. They're just going to drag you down. So he walks her home and he's like, all right, Marie. He's like, up yours, creepo. And runs up the stairs. Man, I love that movie. Perfect fucking movie. Nobody can tell me anything bad about the movie. It's just beautiful. It's like a movie of its time and it holds up. Because that fucking fight is better than 99% of the real fights we see. So, Rocky gets his left eye busted pretty bad, right? And then go to the next movie, and people are calling the match fixed. Because the way they saw it is, you should have finished that in the first round. And other people were saying, if there was only a little more time, Rocky would have knocked your ass out. But remember when they're hugging at the end of the first one? And Creed's like, there'll be no rematch. There'll be no... And then he's like, I don't want one. And then in the hospital, later on, he goes, hey, so did you mean it? Like, Was it a good fight? And he's like, yeah, Rock. And then Apollo gets the pressure gets to him.
Well,
so now he wants the fight.
It's with pride too, right?
That's what I meant. Yeah. Kept being told, hey, you're a bum. Because that was the big insult back then. You're a bum. You're a fucking bum. So, yeah. He starts challenging Rocky. Rocky is just trying to live off his money. His old mob boss comes up to him and says, hey, you wanna...
You stole it. I was going to say it.
Say it, man.
You should invest. Rocky's like, invest in what? He's like, condominiums. Rocky's like, I never use them.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love it. And then he decides to ask Adrian to get married at the zoo. Remember? In the winter. And what does he say to her? Do you remember what he says to her?
If you don't mind marrying me too much.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Adrian, I got a question. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind marrying me very much. And she looked at him like, am I going to marry this retard? She's like, yes. Yes! Yeah. We have money. So,
yeah, exactly.
And he starts blowing his money, man, because he thought he was going to make commercials, but he was too dumb to make commercials when they're trying to get him to do deodorant. And they're like, read the cue cards. And he's wearing a fucking caveman suit at first. And he's like, in the morning, when I first get up, I put it on, and it makes me smell manly. Manly? That says manly. Can you not see it, Rock? He's like, well, yeah. Oh, sorry. And then they put him in the prosthetic of his first fight. And then he looks...
a horrible prosthetic,
Yeah, he looks like the Elephant Man. And then all of a sudden he's like, get him out of here. I can't work with this guy. He's not a professional. And then Adrian's just like, fuck you guys, man. And then Rocky says something along the lines of, you guys are all pieces of shit. I mean, he does it really nicely because he's Rocky.
Yeah.
So he tries to get a real job. Can't get a real job because he has no education. So what does he do? He goes back to Mickey. And he says, first he says to Mickey, Mickey, I want to take the fight, Mick. I want to take the fight. He goes, okay. He's like, see my finger? And he takes it to the right side of his face. He says, say when you can see it. He goes, got it. He goes, okay. Well, let's do the left-hand side. I don't know. Well, this is actually the left. He's like, got it. And he's like, yeah, that's when your head would get crushed in. He's like, the first time, what do you say? He hurt you. You fight him again, it's going to be permanent, Rock. Permanent. He's like, okay, can I work here then? He's like, yeah, sure. And then even his fucking own boxers at the gym are making fun of him, even though he should be a hero.
Yeah, you'd think.
So then he says, fuck it, because he keeps getting insulted. And then Mickey's the one who says, we're going to crush him, Rock.
Because fucking Apollo was insulting him on television, right? Mm-hmm. And then, Mickey's like, we're going to crush him.
Mickey wasn't happy about that, man.
No.
That was his fucking guardian angel.
Well, the other thing, too, like myself, too, like when I see Conor McGregor and those types of guys, I fucking hate those guys, man. It takes the respect right out of the martial arts or boxing. I don't like that.
That's why they need more GSPs.
Exactly.
Like
respect.
People like,
that's got to be.
Oh, he's too clean cut. That's what you want when you're in a sport where ignorant people call it human cockfighting. You want a guy that's well spoken, that can represent the sport well, that you can stick a fucking national fucking advertiser on. You got all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no fucking McGregor if it wasn't for or Brock. If GSP wasn't holding shit down for all those years, turning it into a legit fucking sport. Anyway, back on topic. But Adrian doesn't like the idea, right? Goddamn women, always ruining our fun.
Well, you can't blame her. She has to spend the rest of her life with this guy, and if he's going to be blind on one side, he's going to miss one side of the clit. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe a little depth perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how's that feel? How's that feel, Adrian? She's like, you're not touching anything, Rock.
That's my belly button, Rock.
Yeah, I think I found it. I think I found the hole, Adrian. Rock, that's my belly button. Get that fucking eye fixed.
They got surgeries.
That's why they only had one kid. They only got lucky once.
They
only banged one time. Yeah.
He got frustrated.
Actually, you know what? It's because he got her pregnant before he fought Apollo the second time.
Oh yeah, and she was yeah. It's coming back to me.
Fight, he couldn't find the hole anymore. That's what happened.
That's right. But what I like to like, so Rocky goes from being a complete kind of a dummy in the first two, and then in 3, he's like relatively smart because he's the champion.
He's a smart dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the point of Eye of the Tiger.
Right? He has to get it.
The whole point is, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But he got civilized. He lost his fucking killer instinct. Some would say he lost his eye of the tiger.
And you just did.
He just did, man. He lost the eye of the tiger. Mine's better. The tiger.
He was rising up. Oh, that went bad. That sounded very fuzzy in the microphone when he went close. Yeah, oh yeah. It sounds like Echo 19.
Is that better?
Yeah. Rising up.
Rising up. Here on the streets. Took my time, took no chances. Something like that.
Boom, bump, bump. Yeah.
Right.
The one hand going is pretty cool too.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Dude, it's magical.
So, Adrian gets pregnant. She's dead set against this fight. So Rocky's training. He's like, we need the money. We need the fucking money. Stop it. We need the money. He didn't say it like that, but that was basically what he was saying. And what happens? She gets sick. I think she was just fucking playing it along, just playing it up.
And she was pregnant at the time too, right?
She's pregnant. So Rocky goes into like this hibernation fucking depression mode. Won't leave the church. Goes from the church or the chapel in the hospital or her bedside. And then she wakes up. And she looks at him and says,
Win.
Huh? Win. What? Huh? Win, you fucking idiot. Win. And then Mickey's like, what are you waiting for? And then that's when it gets serious.
That was what I thought. I thought that it's hilarious to me that somebody's in a coma for months on or whatever, and she wakes up and the first thing she says is "win," not like "what day is it?"
or like, I need a bruised toothbrush.
Or
wow, give me some water.
Are you people? That's how she thinks. She has to go into a coma and think about it. Yeah. And then come out and she's like, win.
Yeah, she's like, I had a nice long think on the matter, and I think you should win. And hey, they go into the match. This time, Apollo is a little more pissed off. Rocky has a little more to prove.
More to fight for.
The epicness of the fight, I think, lives up to the first one, man. And then that last part, they're in the fucking 15th round, and fucking Rocky hits him with a left or a right? I can't remember. But they both go down. Both go down. And then they're climbing up the ropes. And Apollo just collapses and Rocky just gets up and he's the fucking winner. He's the champion.
Epic.
And then
Rocky hit him, right? So like going on boxing rules. So Rocky hits him with a punch and falls down. They would have just classified that as a slip anyhow. So he wouldn't have had to get up, because like Apollo didn't hit him.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So and that was like what based Rocky.
Way to ruin the immersion, Mike.
And all of his montages, that was one of the main things that was in his montage. So it was a slip. They didn't hit each other at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So part 3, Paulie's all fucking jealous because Rocky's famous and rich, and he's not. And he busts up a Rocky fucking pinball machine. Rocky has to go bail his ass out. He's wearing this nice, 2-piece suit. Walks in. It's like, what was it? Was it cream colored or was it black? I can't remember. But he was looking sharp. Yeah, he was looking sharp. He had a more, we'll call it a more tailored mullet. And he's looking good. And then Paulie starts swinging at him like wild hooks. He's like, blah, blah. And then Rocky's like, poof, poof. What are you doing?
I don't sweat you.
Yeah, I don't sweat you, Rock. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, can I have a job? Yeah, of course you can have a job. Is that all you wanted? Yeah. Well, what the fuck? Just ask. And then that's when we meet Thunderlips, the Ultimate Man, versus the Ultimate.
But to go back to that, to go back to that, Paulie, his way of thinking was thinking like he always thought that he was higher than Rocky.
Yeah.
Now Rocky's higher than him, and he feels very insignificant. So now he's going to attack him, and then get a job. There you go. He's always going to be lower than Rock.
Yeah. So now, because in his mind, working for somebody he's lower than is impossible. Because if you remember, when in Rocky 2, who did Rocky sell his car to when he was having money problems? Sold it to fucking Paulie. When Rocky stopped breaking thumbs, who took over? Paulie.
Mm-hmm. So
right?
Kind of
so Paulie has a superiority complex, and that is becomes very apparent later on in this movie anyway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we go to a charity event, but they show a montage of Rocky beating all these guys, and we show a montage of Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T.
My favorite.
All these motherfuckers. Hey, woman. Hey, woman. You want to spend the night with a real man, woman? Huh? That's what makes Rocky like, I'll fucking kill you. I'll kill you. That's when his Italian came out.
Yeah.
But if it was his modern, if it was like a modern man, he'd be like, sure, have her. Just return her by 11. Okay, thank you, Mr. Black Man. That's what would happen. So he meets Thunderlips, and they bill him as 7'2", 420 pounds. And then Rocky's like, hey, Mr. Thunderlips, what's going on? And all Hogan says is, or something. Yeah. But I love it. He's standing up there with his women, and he's like, it's me. It's me. No, what's he say? Thunderlips is here, baby.
Yeah, he does that.
The Ultimate Man versus the Ultimate Meatball.
Yeah.
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 And then Rocky thinks it's a joke, so he's like, all right. Hey, so I'll just give you a couple of jabs in the gut. You body slam me, and then maybe get a Polaroid after. My kid's a big fan. And then Thunderlips just beats the shit out of him. Right? Loved it. Yeah. And, that was well before Thunderlips was in WWF.
Yeah,
that was
he was in WWF, and then he got canned for doing that.
Yeah, but his mainstay at the time was AWA. AWA is the one who made Hulk Hogan. So, anyway, we might as well just call him Superstar Billy Graham, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, then Rocky's like, cut the gloves! Cut them! And he starts feeding his patented Rocky body blows. And then fucking, and he, what's he do? Gives him a fucking body slam outside. Just drops him over the fucking. And then what's Thunder Lips is like, no pain, no gain. And, you know, they shake. And Mrs. Balboa says, Rocky, you're retiring. And he's like, oh, but I like to play. She's like, you're retiring. I'm your wife. You see these? This is the bag. In this bag, I hold your testicles.
Mm-hmm.
You're retiring, Rock. So they unveil a statue that was there for decades. Not there anymore, but they unveil this statue of Rocky in Philadelphia. And Clubber Lang comes and starts calling him a paper champion. You're a paper champ, fool. You paper champ. And then Mickey's like, don't listen to that bum. You're a bum. You haven't gotten a shot because you're a bum. And then he turns his sights to Mrs. Balboa. Take it away, Mike.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman.
You can do it better.
Well, I don't know. Hey, woman, you already went over it. You want to spend a night with
I know, but you do it. You used to do it so good.
Hey, woman.
Gusto.
Hey, woman. You want to spend a night with a real man, right? But my favorite quote of Rocky 3 is prediction? My prediction? Pain.
Yeah.
That's the favorite quote of Rocky 3.
There's a bunch of them when he's getting hit and he's like, my grandmother hits harder than that. Come on, do it. Yeah. And
he's not getting beat, he's getting mad.
Yeah. My favorite quote in the movie, Eye of the Tiger, because it's said 100 times. Eye of the Tiger, Rock. So, hey, Rocky agrees to one more fight. And Mickey's all pissed off because he's not taking this shit seriously, right? He's doing these open workouts. He's stopping to pose with women and fucking guys. And, you know, it was like a fucking orgy. Night of the fight comes, and what happens? Fucking Mickey basically tells Rocky that he's been protecting him. And that was a shock to Rocky. He's like, no, they were contenders. They were contenders. They just weren't the top contenders, Rocky.
Yeah.
And, like, Rocky, I guess, is dumb enough not to pick up a newspaper and read the rankings, I guess.
Yeah.
I believed you, Mick. Every single thing you said to me, I didn't not believe. I didn't look at anything. I just listened to you. So, fucking Mickey calls Clubber Lang a bum. Clubber pushes him. Mick has a heart attack. And they have to take him up to his room. And the fight starts. And Rocky's winning the fight. He's winning it. Yeah. But I think his mind's all muddled, right? It's all bottled. And then he gets the shit kicked out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't care. He just runs to go see Mickey, and Mickey is fucking dying. And he dies. And then the Stallone cry starts. When he hits it. Something like that.
It's touching.
Yeah. So he's very depressed. He's very depressed. I don't think they had Xanax back then, you know?
No.
So they're like, the only way to cure your depression.
Montage time, right? Right after this, right after the funeral. Then he's like, and then he grabs his helmet and he chucks it at the statue. You know? That's
right. And then he, what's he do? He shit, I can't remember.
How did Apollo get into it? Apollo got a hold of him.
Yeah, he came to him and he said, because Apollo is the one that was the special presenter in their match.
he was announcing it too, right?
Oh, and now, yeah, he was the announcer. He was a special presenter in the second match. Yeah. But this was like new ground, right? Because Rocky is the champion, and he loses fucking the first 30 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then he has to win it again. So it's like 1 and 2 put into one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally love this movie.
Yeah,
because I love training montages, and I love how hard fucking Apollo is. So he's like, I'm going to train you. I'm going to get that eye of the tiger back in you, Rock. You know you lost, Rock? You know, you lost one thing, the eye of the tiger. And if we can just get that eye of the tiger back, well, then you'll win. So what do you say, Rock? Are we going to get that eye of the tiger back? And Apollo or Rocky's like, oh, sure. I don't even know what a tiger is. I thought they were all lions.
No, he invited the tiger to his wedding, so he knows what a tiger is.
Yeah, but he thought it was a lion, you see. He's like, let me show you my pet lion. And they're like, Rocky, that's a tiger. That's a mythical creature. I don't think you're telling me the truth. And he goes, Mickey, this is a lion, right? And Mickey's like, sure is, Rock. See, Mickey says it's a lion. And I believe everything Mickey says. So, you know.
Mickey's not lying.
Yeah, but now there's no more Mickey. So now he has to learn what a real tiger is.
Exactly.
With the eyes of a tiger. So they go to L.A. and he goes into a gym, and it's all black people. And this is when Paulie gets a little uncomfortable. And he's like, you can't teach him to fight like a colored man. He has no rhythm. He's like, and he says stuff like these people, calls them jungle bunnies or something.
Yeah.
And Rocky's just not into it, right? Again, Rocky's not into it. Story of his life. Movie's about two things. All the movies. It's a love story and a story of a man with manic depression. Okay? It's like, you should have just went and seen a doctor, Rock. Got some fucking antidepressants. Your career would have been much better. God damn it.
He has a scratch to do it back then. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. So eventually, Apollo trains Rocky to fight like a black guy would fight. More rhythm in his step, quicker jab, circles out faster, quicker defense, and he's trimmed down to 198 or something. 189, something stupid. Like, yeah, you're fighting for a heavyweight title. Okay.
So it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
So since Apollo came back in Rocky 4, why didn't he just come back in Rocky 3 and dummy Clubber Lang, right? Because he would have, because he taught Rocky everything he knew. So why wouldn't he just come back and dummy Clubber Lang, become the champion again, and then?
Well, Rocky? I think because he was retired.
Yeah.
And when he came back in part 4, it was just an exhibition match.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But
so then Adrian gets to him. What's the matter with you? What's wrong with you? And he's like, you want to hit it? You want to hit his head? Huh? I'm scared. Scared of what? That I'm going to lose what I got. What you got? You know, the house and shit. Shit like that. She's like, you got me. You got the kid. That's all you need. And that snapped Rocky out of it.
Yeah, now he runs fast.
Yeah, and he's like, oh shit, I just replaced Mickey with Adrian. And he's like, it's okay because you were telling me what to do since we've been married anyway. So it's a natural progression. And then he starts running faster, swimming faster. He has a little more jive in his step. And then the match comes.
Having fun while he's doing it, too.
Yeah. Then the match comes.
Yeah.
And then they ask Clubber Lang, what's your prediction?
And it's my favorite part. And it is pain.
What do you predict?
Pain. What do you predict?
Pain. I'm going to break that.
Yeah.
So, fight starts. And Rocky's looking extremely thin, like a crackhead thin. Like he spent his training camp in fucking Atlantic City or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I lost all my money and all my weight. So.
Still got a woman.
Yeah, it's a good woman right there.
Yeah.
And he's leading. He's fucking fighting like Apollo.
Yeah.
Without the reach advantage. And he's in and out. But round 2 starts. And Clubber starts taking over. But you're getting the sense that Rocky's letting him. And then at a certain point, he's like, what, sucker? And he's like, he said something. He's like, you're a bum. He goes, I may be a bum, but at least I'm not breathing heavy. And then, boom. That was the plan all along. Let him punch himself out.
That's right.
Rocky 3. Rope-a-dope. So, that's when the plan comes into action. He's taunting him. He's getting him to punch him in spots that he's blocking. And he's fucking getting real tired. Like, ah. And then Rocky takes over and fucking BAM! Floors his ass. His ass. His ass.
That's what they're slugging like that. You have to withstand the first couple rounds like George Foreman. And then boom, take their ass out, right?
Yeah, but I think that was in the 8th round. That happened.
Yeah, not
Rocky,
the 3rd.
He ended this one in the 4th.
Oh, was it the 4th?
Yeah.
At least I'm not
really, we got to see 6 rounds of fighting in this movie. And then remember what Apollo's deal was. If I do this for you, Rock, I want one thing. And he's like, what? He's like, a rematch. So they have their rematch, but you don't get to see it. And he's like, you taught me everything. He said, you taught me everything. No, he says, how are you going to beat me, Apollo? You taught me everything you know. And Apollo's like, no, Rock, I taught you everything you know. Who wants to ring the bell? Go ahead. Ding, ding. And then the movie ends with them both. Perfect.
And in that shot right there, Rocky would have knocked him out because he had the inside jaw.
Yeah. And then the fucking the ending comes, and then this happens.
You have to grab the guitar again.
No, you just have to enjoy it. Enjoy it. This song rocks. I love Rocky. Yeah. Let's go fight anyone on the street. Now on to real business. Rocky fucking 4. The Cold War.
Oh, we're going through the whole series.
Fucking right.
We can end after Rocky 4, right? Because Rocky 5 was like me.
All right, I did like Rocky Balboa, but we'll end it after 4. Number 4. Yeah, because it's good we do it up to 4 because really 4 is the Rocky and Apollo. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Rocky and Apollo's story together. I think. We'll say that. But you notice after part 2, well, not really. 3 and 4, somebody big dies. So,
yes.
Part 3, Mickey dies. Part 4, Apollo dies. Part 5, Rocky's career dies. Part 6, Adrian's dead.
Yeah, I didn't watch part 6 once. So it's like me.
I like it. I like it.
Tarver?
Yeah, Tarver. He looked out of place, but the movie was good. So Rocky starts with this massive Russian fucking. Actually, it starts with 2 gloves: one Soviet glove, one American glove. Fucking height of the Cold War, people. It was before Reagan made Gorbachev. Was it Gorbachev? I think it was. Tear down that wall. Tear down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev. And he did. America won. So Reagan's the man.
The real story, I don't know if it was. Yeah, it was like they fucked it up. The guy, I think, was it Gorbachev? Yeah. Well, he was a big alcoholic, and he had people writing his notes for him. And in the notes, it said that like you could leave East Berlin and go to West Berlin if you had something like $3,000. But the guy, I think it was Gorbachev, he was fucking drunk and he read it wrong. So he's like, yeah, you can leave East Berlin and go to West Berlin anytime you want. So then there was a huge lineup of people at the fucking wall, and they're like, we're going over to West Berlin, we're going, and they just fucking bum rotted it. And there's only like a couple people guarding the wall, so they just like went to the West Berlin, and then they came back after the weekend. So he's like, okay, we don't need the wall, and then Reagan's like, tear down the wall, and he tore it down.
Well, Reagan was a great president, so. But
Star Wars, big.
Anyhow, starts with this giant Russian man played by a Swede.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph Lundgren. Funny Dolph Lundgren story. Somebody broke into his house when he wasn't home and they were robbing him. And so they're loading their van up, I guess. And in one of his many living rooms, there's this huge painting of him. And then one of the thieves saw that this house belonged to Dolph Lundgren. And they're like, oh, shit. So he told his buddy, and they put everything back where it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Dolph Lundgren.
I like Dolph.
Oh, yeah, he's my boy.
Yeah.
Too bad Sweden's a fucking shithole now. Anyway, which makes me sad because I'm a big Matt Sundin fan, too. You know me, I love Swedish hockey, man. But, yeah. It's not a good place anymore. Not these days. So, anyway. They show this guy. He's an amateur. Fucking killed everyone. So they say, we're coming to America. I don't have a good Russian accent.
Neither do I.
Neither did Bridget Nielsen. But, you know. Oh, I remember the one trainer. He's like, you're heavyweight champion. What he punches average 750-pound PSI. Drago, his punches are 1,200, or he says 1,500 PSI. They're like, what does it mean? It means whatever he hits, he destroys. Like, wicked.
Great build.
You know, fucking Apollo is sitting in his pool, throwing balls to the dogs, and he's watching this shit on his portable TV. And he's like, oh, fuck no. I'm Apollo Creed. So he challenges him to an exhibition match. And I think in Vegas. And I love that part. I love that fucking part where he comes up. Drago is in, and what a cool name, Ivan Drago. He sounds like a fucking dragon. Okay, so
definitely villain.
Yeah. So he's standing in the ring, and the ring rises up through the ground to the stage, and it's a stage. It's like a concert stage because everybody's facing him. And then all of a sudden, there's James Brown singing "Coming to America." And this Russian is just like, what the fuck? Right? He's like, in Soviet Russia, James Brown would be dead. Nobody sings. We're not allowed happiness in Soviet Russia.
No.
So where was this movie filmed?
Oh, I don't know.
You live there, buddy. Filmed in BC.
Was it?
Yep, all those mountain scenes.
Oh, like so they transferred Russia to Vancouver, British Columbia, which they couldn't be farther from the truth from one another. Yeah.
Well, you notice how they never showed any cities from Russia, so you never saw the outside of Moscow. All you saw was like mountains. Well, that was Vancouver.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
That was BC. Yeah. So, before the fight, they have a press conference, and Drago isn't talking, but his handlers are, and they're saying, he's going to kill your man, and then fucking Apollo gets pissed, right? He's like, I'm a fucking champion. I'm a champion. I'll school this sucker. And Apollo comes out to James Brown, and he's wearing a hat, and he's fucking dancing. And then they start going through his nicknames, the Master of Disaster, the blah, 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 blah. And then Rocky looks at him and he's like, really? He's like, there's one more. And then he says, whatever. I can't remember them all. And first round, Apollo's looking all right. Looking pretty good until he gets that fucking straight right. And then boom!
Mm-hmm.
Shit goes sideways. And he's
what he hits, he destroys.
Yeah. And then he starts fucking. He's almost dead by the end of the first round. And Rocky's like, I'm throwing the towel in. He's like, you throw that towel in, I'll fucking kill you or something. So
I think it was that.
Yeah, and he's like holding the towel. And Apollo is just getting fucking murked.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out. Rocky drops the towel, runs in, and then fucking Drago says, if he dies, he dies. And at that moment, I was like, yes, this is serious. Because, you know, Mickey dying.
At the time, we were probably like grade 3 or grade 4 at the time watching this shit. Right? Was that first time you watched this or on the first time I watched it? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you knew shit was getting real. I was real sad when Apollo died, man. Like, when I was a kid and I saw Rocky not win the first time, like, I was like 4, right, when I first watched Rocky. I fucking bawled my eyes out, man, because I wanted Rocky to win. That was, like, the saddest thing in my life at that point in time. So, family members made fun of me for years for that.
Yeah.
So,
the giant one, and they had the referee, the Hebner twins. Yeah.
$1 million man paid somebody to switch his face.
Yeah. That's right. Anyhow.
So yeah, it was a thing. And so naturally Rocky does what Rocky do. He gives up his title. Well, he buries him with one of his championship belts. He's still champion, but he says, I'm going to go fight this motherfucker in Russia. And they're like, it's not sanctioned. He goes, I don't care. And now, this time, it's Adrian that says, you can't win! And then after Apollo dies, he goes for a drive. And this happens.
Yeah.
You just went silent.
Fine.
Okay. Or maybe was it this one?
No,
that's when he's in the mountains.
That was in the mountains?
Yeah.
Remember the Russians were tracking him and they were running into
I love that soundtrack.
Dude, it's a good gym soundtrack.
Yeah, man. If you want to get pumped.
Yeah.
Now, he, goes to Russia, and Adrian's yelling at him, you can't win! And Rocky's like, in his mind, he's like, don't you think I know that bitch? But I'm a man, goddammit.
You killed my best friend.
Yeah. He killed my best friend. I would fight this motherfucker on Mars if I had to.
I should have thrown in the towel.
Well, that was another thing that was plaguing him.
I would imagine, yeah.
But there's loyalty there, right? His friend told him not to. Do you do it if your friend tells you, basically begs you not to do it?
I don't know, Frank. I'd rather have you kicking around and be a little bit mad at me.
Well, you remember Duke in that scene? Throw the fucking towel in! Throw it in! That was some powerful shit.
Well, why didn't he give it to Duke and get Duke to throw it in?
Because Duke's his trainer. Rocky's his best friend.
Yeah.
And he knew Rocky. See, Rocky has a fighter's mindset. Because he fucking said the same thing to Mickey. You stop this fight, I'm going to kill you. When they were going to stop his fight. Because he knew he wouldn't do it. But Rocky obviously has some scruples about that. So, yeah. So he goes there, and he's stuck in a fucking cabin. Him, Duke, fucking Paulie, and he has to do some old school training. Meanwhile, you're seeing this movie is just one big montage of training and then fighting. It's the easiest movie to talk about. So Drago's training in this high-tech facility, getting juiced to the fucking gills. Rocky's fucking lifting boulders, climbing mountains, and then at the top yelling, Drago! Drago! You want to get one up?
Creating avalanches for the towns below in British Columbia.
And then
they're Squamish. Thanks, Rock.
Yeah. Thanks, man. The tram's down now, bud. Now I can't go to the fucking rope bridge, you fucking prick.
That's right.
I wanted to go to that suspension bridge. Goddamn Rocky. Yeah. Goddamn Hollywood.
Dude, the Drago Avalanche of 1990.
You still feel it in our bones today. That's right. So, hey, man. It just goes right to fight night. Adrian shows up, and she's like, yeah, I decided you can win. Okay.
I think
Thanks for your permission.
This fight put together was probably the best fight in the Rocky series up to this point.
Yeah.
I think so.
And after this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because watching it, that every shot he takes is potentially a killer shot, right?
Mm.
And I love he's like
they're able to make almost half the movie a fight.
Yeah.
Because of all the training montage. It's not a short fight like the Clubber Lang one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rocky says to him, there's 3 of them. And then Paulie says, hit the middle one. And then Duke's like, yeah, hit the middle one. And then Drago says, he is not human. He is made of iron. And they're just beating the shit out of each other, man. And then the parliament, the generals up there are mad that they're not crushing this American, right? And they're fucking doing everything to each other, man. Punching the shit out of each other after the bell, fucking wrestling on the ground. And you can tell before even seeing Rocky 5 that this motherfucker is going to have brain damage, right? Mm-hmm. And Buddy comes up and he's yelling at Drago in Russian. And then Drago picks him up. He goes, I don't fight for you. I fight for me. For me. And he throws him. And he starts punching the air. For me. I was like, awesome, man. He's not just a machine, He's a man with real feelings and real ambition.
And that definitely smashed some boundaries between what you thought of Russians at the time, because Russians in our minds were machines, but really they're just human beings, just like the rest of us.
They were people too. Yeah.
And to have an American to go there and bring that out of them,
And then Rocky in Balboa fashion knocks him out in the last round. And then he runs and he jumps up in the air and he lands on his knees and falls back with a flag. And then what does he say? He goes, said something along the lines of,
if I can change.
I saw a lot of changes here. When I came in here, I saw a lot of people that didn't like me, and I didn't like you much neither. But I saw some change. I guess it's better. I don't know, he goes, you had 2 guys killing each other in here. But I guess that's better than 100 million of them. And then people are like, Rocky! And it was a beautiful film. Now I'm just going to add one part from part 5 because it takes place right after it.
Yeah, if I can change.
Rocky's in the shower.
Change.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. If I could change and you can change, then everybody could change. And then he goes in the shower and he has Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And he's like, Adrian, I can't stop shaking. I can't stop shaking.
Yeah.
And then that was the beginning of 5, which we're not going to get into, but that cost him his career until he became an old man and got his boxing license back. So that was the Rocky 1 through 4 series. What's your overall feelings?
Oh, yeah, it's the first 2 movies, were great classics. The last two movies were just action movies, but they followed the same kind of script. You know what I mean? With the montages, with the Rocky rise, like instead of the Rocky in Rocky 4, it was Apollo playing the Rocky thing, how he lost, and then Rocky had to avenge him. So it was always like
That was
your
4.
antagonist, boom, loses, and then
Rises to the occasion.
Rises to the occasion, which is, that was a lot of those 80s films back then. They followed that same kind of pattern. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Both
I agree with you about how the first two turned like from classic, more like love story movies that had boxing in them to more action movies. But I will say that the love story is always prevalent, right? Even in the fifth one. Yeah. It's all about them and how they deal with, because like Rocky's a fucking hood, right? And just because he got a lucky chance, and that lucky chance changed his life and it changed Adrian's life. So you have two poor people, and it's really a lot of it's about how these two poor people at heart are dealing with the world around them that is rapidly changing. You know what I mean? Like it's rapidly changing, and they make mistakes because they're not used to this lifestyle. Am I going too deep here?
No, that's 100%.
And
that's more prevalent in the first two movies.
Yeah. So I love these movies. And I'm one of the few people that actually love part 5 because they go back to being poor. And, it kind of gives you a glimpse into this is what it would have been like if Rocky never got that lucky shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like Tommy Gunn.
Well, it also gives you to Tom Morrison, Tommy Gunn. When
Tommy
he came
Morrison.
back into his boxing career, they got ab implants for him. Did you know that?
No. Well, was this after the movie, but before the AIDS, or after the AIDS?
No. So he stopped, right? So he stopped boxing because of the AIDS, and then they found out that maybe he didn't have AIDS, and then he came back to boxing. He did a couple matches, but then they because he was fat and out of shape, they got him fucking ab implants.
Right on. Good for him.
Actually, yeah.
Can I get some ab implants?
I'm losing your connection.
See, my connection's fine. It's not saying anything. I can see you. You're just not moving, baby. It might fix itself. No, see, there you are. Can you hear me?
Cut back in. Yeah, I can hear you.
So, everybody loves Rocky. It was 40th anniversary of the first movie. I think we're going to do more movie reviews. Oh, I'm going to say, too, this is for a future late to the party review. I finally watched Endgame, and I wasn't all that impressed. So we might have to talk about it.
It was okay.
I know you liked it.
They copped over they copped over by using the time travel. I always hate that.
Let's not get into it. We gotta make that
an easy cop.
Separate show. But these are your boys, Cool Mike, Handsome Frank. The Rocky review is over. It's over. And remember, subscribe, or some people say subscribble, and follow us on Twitter at MNF Wrestling. You'll find us. I do most of the tweeting because my partner is a lazy son of a bitch. That's okay.
Yeah,
and these videos are great because you get to look at my face.
Nothing.
Anyway, show is over. Mikey boy, you know what to do. Say bye to the people.
Yeah.
Goodbye, my love.
Hello.
Mwah.
Yep. I keep losing you, buddy.
Are you gonna end the recording?
Well, I can't hear you.